And the reason why we did this was because we've all of us who've tried it have found meditation to be this unbelievable life tool to help you get into this lovely state every day. No matter what's going on around you, no matter how many dramas and demands are being made of you, you have this tool that is not dependent on any external factors. You can just rev it up anytime you like and get yourself back into a place of calm and balance, feeling good, and then you're able to go out into the world and be your best self. Because all of us want to be our best selves, but quite often find that that's not happening because we're tired, we're stressed, we're overwhelmed, we've got too many things to do, and once we're on that hamster wheel, it feels really hard to get off again. And so that's why we're teaching meditation, but it became apparent over the years that meditation still has a slight perception issue. People still think it's for monks and hippies, even though it's relevant to everyone. And so we wanted to start an event that people could plug into if they've never had any experience at all, or if they do know how to meditate, then we can come together and we can celebrate our common humanity with this amazing tool which helps us connect more deeply with ourselves, but also with everyone else. And so it's really important for me and everyone who works around us and everyone at Unify as well, who we're partnering with, that we help make meditation feel completely relevant and accessible to anyone out there in the world. And last year we did it at Fabric because that's the most counterintuitive place you would think to have a big meditation event, and it was really, really fun. It was a massive party-like atmosphere, even though nobody was getting off their heads in that way. Everyone was kind of getting high on their own supply. But this year we wanted to make it global. We wanted to hit this part of the world, let's say Europe and Africa, and then be able to do one for the Americas later on. So I'll be flying to Vancouver in a few hours, and we're going to an amazing museum in Vancouver, taking that over and doing another one so that everybody in the Americas doesn't have to wake up at a silly time in the morning to participate. So, with that said, I suggest that we all start getting stuck in. So, can I make sure that everyone's got their phones either switched off or on flight mode? Because once they start buzzing in your pocket or in your handbag, it tends to be a bit distracting. Who is it? Should I answer it? And now, let's just get nice and comfortable. Closing your eyes. And even though we're high up in the sky here at the Gherkin, let's ground into our body. So feel the weight of your body in your seat. Feel how gravity is pulling you down. Feel your feet and your legs. Feeling both legs simultaneously. And then move your attention up through your torso, your belly and lower back, all the way up to the chest and the rear of your chest. Feel how your breath is coming in and expanding your belly as you inhale, and filling your chest, and then as you exhale, that very subtle phenomena of breath playing out throughout our lives. and yet we don't pay it much attention. It's good to reconnect with ourselves. And now expand your awareness to incorporate your shoulders. Maybe give your shoulders a little bit of a wriggle, because we store so much tension here. And then down through the arms to the fingertips. Feeling the connection from your fingertips all the way up through your arms, down through your body, to your toes. Bring your attention to your neck, your jaw. Soften your jaw if you can. Just send a faint little impulse to let it be a bit looser. Soften your brow. Next time you exhale, just imagine yourself letting go of any residual tension. Now feel the center of your chest. Does it feel tight? Does it feel loose? Is there any emotion there whatsoever? Just becoming aware of that place inside of you is good. So much emotion gets felt there, gets stored there. Bring your attention to your belly. And your head. Imagine that central axis of your being, all being connected in one seamless, harmonious whole. And now we're going to introduce a little sound or mantra to work with to help get our nervous system into a deeper state of calm. And I'll give you the sound. We're going to actually use the word Beeja. If you have your own mantra, feel free to use that. But for those of you who don't, in a moment, we'll start repeating that sound, Beeja, in our minds. And if we do it really softly, really gently, and we do it at a really pedestrian pace, it's going to help us find that place of calm that exists within all of us. But after a little while, you'll find your mind starts wandering, and that's totally cool, okay? There'll be thoughts, might get a bit dreamy, the mantra may disappear, and you're left with nothing. You might find yourself experiencing physical sensations or feelings. And any time any of that happens, just very gently lean back into that sound and start repeating it once more. So let's begin. Just whispering it quietly within your mind and Have your attention on that sound, Beeja. 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 Being maybe in the center or the rear of your brain, rather than concentrating on it and having it in the foreground. Let it float back into the background. If at any time you find yourself falling into a deeper state of awareness, or you find yourself almost falling asleep, surrender into it. It's all good. Allow yourself to have the experience without trying to resist or control anything. Almost be a passenger in the process. So we're going to have a little meditation now using that sound. Just allow yourself to flow through the experience, not worrying about any thoughts or that might come in, not trying to block the thoughts, just being easy. Enjoy. keeping the eyes closed. Stop thinking your sound a mantra. We're going to do a couple of exercises to conclude the meditation. So first things first, let's get our attention back into the body. And let's remember that force of gravity pulling us down towards the earth. And if it feels like you're in a little bubble of calm and harmony, there are no doubt many of us who feel that. And what I'm going to suggest we do is that we imagine expanding that bubble to fill the whole of the space you're in, and in our case, filling the whole dome here at the Gherkin. And imagine it now filling the whole of the building. Imagine everyone in this building feeling this same level of calm and harmony. And let's now expand it further to encompass the whole city. Imagine there being a huge bubble of lovely, centered humanity throughout the city. And now imagine it expanding to encompass the whole continent. Imagine us all feeling deep in our hearts a sense of unity rather than getting lost in the division. And now imagine that bubble expanding further to encompass the whole world. Imagine every single one of us feeling in a good place. Imagine for at least one day of the year, no hostility, just presence, connection, a sense of common humanity and shared goals and shared experiences. Imagine if we could all wake up and start our day like this and go into the day from a springboard of happiness, joy, and a feeling that we can really thrive in life. And now bring that bubble back, down, smaller and smaller until it's back into your original bubble. Feeling your body. Feeling your heart. and enjoying the fact that your brain is now in a much higher state of coherence. And you'll be able to go into your day feeling like your mind is with you rather than often getting in the way. Bring meditation to the world. So we've got a growing team of people who are going to be springing up around the world as part of Team Beeja to make this kind of thing available in as many places as possible. And we're developing an app because there's only so many of us and we can't be everywhere. And it's just so important for us that people have access to something that teaches them something. There's obviously lots of good things out there, but we're all about helping people become self-sufficient. Because for me, that's the important thing. That's where you can get the empowerment from this. Not when you have to be dependent on an app, but when you can learn to do it for yourself anywhere, at the top of a skyscraper, on the underground, wherever you like. And so we've got, a very simple Learn to Meditate program on there. But also we want to welcome in everybody around the world. We want it to be a unifying device. That's our ethos. So if you know how to meditate, there's loads of stuff on there for you. There's an amazing timer. There's all of this stuff to help it boost your emotional intelligence. Because in our world, we focus on IQ. But what about our emotional quotient? It feels like it's under-considered and undervalued. And yes, we'll have guided meditations on there as well for people who don't yet feel ready to learn for themselves. But we've got some tech in there that models the sound, so it actually feels like the person guiding you is in the room. It's amazing, and it actually activates your brain 400% more than regular MP3 files. And that is going to make the difference between people feeling like they're really having a true experience versus feeling maybe a little bit shut out. And of course, if people want to take the journey further, then there'll be all these teachers around the world that they can go and see and plug into and take it as far as they want, because the possibilities for human fulfillment and for creativity are far more than we will give ourselves credit for. And when you start doing a simple daily practice, you actually start to realize that. You start to understand that I've got something in me, I've got a unique set of gifts, and I can offer them to the world. Not just professionally, but socially and with your family and in every area of life. Anyway, so if you don't do meditation on a regular basis, if you found this experience enjoyable, insightful, profound, or if you go away from here today feeling a bit different, feeling like there is something to all this, then I'd encourage you to find a way to make it a regular thing. Because if you find that thing that works for you, it will change your life. And it will be one of the greatest foundations of your future existence. Anyway, that's my little pitch for meditation. We are going to have a little bit of breakfast for those of you who can stick around. The guys here, CSCs at the Gherkin, have provided this wonderful space and will be providing us with lots of wonderful food. And I'd also just like to take the opportunity to thank all the team who have done an amazing job. I'm sure you would all agree. This was quite a last-minute thing we decided to do here, and this young lady over here, Neve, has absolutely smashed the ball out of the park in the last week, and pulled a few all-nighters to make it work, and all the wider team who've helped this thing become a thing. And also I just want to give a shout out, although Unify are no longer tuned in, there is this organisation called Unify. They are so cool. They're literally, their purpose is to be a banner around which all of the people who are interested in well-being and important things for mankind can flock to and create a critical mass so that change really is possible. And finally, I'd like to thank Mr. Ago Peroni, wherever he may be, because Ago is considered arguably the world's #1 mixologist, and he knows how to make a cocktail or two. So he's created this fabulous thing called, well, we're calling it Mindshine instead of moonshine, and it's a non-alcoholic cocktail, but it actually feels like you're drinking a proper drink, and it's got loads of beautiful flavors, and it's got this amazing new kind of non-alcoholic liquor, I don't know how to describe it, called 3 Spirit, which I'm now a massive fan of. And it actually gives you that sort of va-va-voom that we might seek out alcohol for, but it doesn't leave you feeling minging the next day. So, Ago, would you like to get up and... Can you do a Tom Cruise and get on the bar? I'd like Ago to present to you this wondrous cocktail called Mindshine.
Thank you for joining us